involves more than just one sport because we have a racing, takes a little gymnastics, it certainly takes a great deal of strength, and essentially timing, because it's always against the clock. It's a speed competition. When you come right down to it, I guess there is a lot of little boy left in all of us. We've always been fascinated by fire engines, and that's why we think you're going to enjoy this spirited action here today. And the first competition we're going to be looking at is the motor hook and ladder Class C. Now, this vehicle will start 450 feet from the arch. It's a very fast start by the truck. Then the ladder will flip off by the three ladder men, and the climber, even before the ladder's in place, will start up. As soon as he gets to the top, he touches, and that will flip the switch and stop the clock as the truck goes on under the arch. This is the team called the Islip Wolves, and they have won more firemen's competitions than any other team in the competition. They were champions in 47, 59, 61, and 65. The vehicle, a 56 Ford with a 66 Hemi Chrysler engine in it, and the driver getting ready to go at the signal from the starter is Dick Eccleston. And he's off. Now jamming on the brakes, the ladder goes down, good position, up goes the climber. And he touches at 11.31 seconds for the Islip Wolves. This is just one of the many competitions that you're going to be seeing. And coming up as sort of the climax is the exciting Bucket Brigade. But right now, let's focus our attention on the St. James Wildcats, the 57 and 66 champions. Fiberglass rebuilt 32 Ford with a 427 tunnel port Ford engine. Bill Coward is the driver. The ladder men in position. They have to beat 11.31. That's the first time and the best time so far posted by the Islip Wolves, and off go the St. James Wildcats. Hey, there's a great one. Good position, and up goes the climber. Roger Schmall, an electrician, and he hits it at 10.33 seconds. Incidentally, the record is 10 seconds flat, set by the North Belmore team, the RINKY DINKS. 10.33 is the time to beat, and now from Lindenhurst, the Snails. And look at this vehicle, a reverse Corvette, a 67, with a 67 Dodge Hemi fuel-injected engine. The driver, Ted Sabian. Yes, sir, he needs the crash helmet with this rig. So the time to beat, 10.33 in this motor hook and ladder Class C competition. He's been working a full year for this annual outing. All right, the course is clear and they're off. Never going to make it. Too much speed, and down they go. And so Lindenhurst, the Snails, will have to wait another year. On the line now, the North Belmore RINKY DINKS, champions in 1956 and again in 1960, and the holder of the event record, which is 10 seconds flat. The driver of this rig is Dick Castle, who's a plumber, married, has 7 children, and has been racing 18 years. This particular vehicle is a 40 Ford modified with a 58 Chrysler engine. So they're ready to go here. The North Belmore RINKY DINKS. Revving it up. The time to beat, 10.33 seconds, set by the St. James Wildcats. They're off. Goes the climber, Ray Federico, hits the top, and the time, 10.67. Not good enough, but it moves the RINKY DINKS into second place. So now, the time to beat, 10.33 for first, 10.67 for second, and now the Port Washington Rowdies with Curly Salerno in the cockpit. In a 60 Ford pickup with a 60 supercharged Cadillac engine. The climber is Johnny Zahn. Uh-oh. Trouble for the Rowdies, and they're disqualified from this event. Couldn't get the ladder up. The timing wasn't just right, and I think you begin to see how important timing and teamwork is in getting things just right between driver and the ladderman and the climber. The Albertson Slowpokes up next. Their vehicle, by the way, is a 46 Henry J, a little hard to find these days. Bill Kozinski, the driver, and he goes right on through. Bill Kozinski, a truck driver by trade, got a little carried away. Too much speed, and they couldn't get the ladder down. So Albertson Slowpokes go recorded with no time. Well, they get up to about 60 or 70 miles an hour down that straightaway, but if the driver does get carried away a little bit, you can see what happens. Now West Sayville's Flying Dutchman on the line. The driver is Bud Van Wyen. You can bet after watching the Albertson team, he's going to be a little more careful. On go the brakes, down goes the ladder. Up goes the climber, and a good touch. 11.10 seconds. And let's see, that's good for about 4th place so far in the competition. West Sayville's Flying Dutchman. And back on the line from Garden City Park, the Mustangs. In a 58 Ford with a 60 supercharged Cadillac engine. Incidentally, these rigs are worked on the entire year. They tinker with them, try to get more horsepower out of them. They're strictly for competition. Driver George Longobardi. Time to beat is still 10.33. Uh-oh, trouble down at the base. And it looks like one of the laddermen is hurt. These ladders have steel spikes at the bottom to dig into the asphalt. He's okay. The Westbury Long Island Turtles, the only team that has a chance now to defeat the St. James Wildcats, who had the 10.33. Driver Bob Kammer getting patted on the back by his teammates. Their vehicle is a 56 Ford pickup with a Chrysler Hemi engine in it. And their climber is a fellow by the name of Dennis Small, who was a policeman in the city of New York. So they're set to go. Off they roar down the 450-foot straightaway. And up goes Dennis Small to the top in a good ride. Up to 10.93, but that's not quite good enough. So that's it, and officially, the St. James Wildcats with a time of 10.33 have won it. In second place, the North Belmore RINKY, and in third place, the Westbury Turtles with a time of 10.93. Now, let's talk to the captain of the St. James winning team. Well, now I'd like you to meet Mickey Mustovich, who is the team captain of the St. James ladder team. And, Mickey, you must be very happy watching your team victorious from the sideline.
I sure was, Phil.
Mickey, just out of curiosity, how many fires would your group answer in a year's time?
Well, we average about 125 annually.
Is that a lot?
No, by no standard, no, not a lot.
Who would have the most, let's say?
I'd estimate it to be Deer Park, about 1,200.
Wow. It's about 4 a day, isn't there? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
They must have a hard time finding time to practice.
They do. They come out on and off through the years. It's pretty hard to get a team organized and keep them together, especially keeping the young ones. We go looking for college boys, especially.
That youth, you can't beat it. Mickey, congratulations to you, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Bill.
Mickey Mustovich, the team captain of the St. James ladder team. And here in slow motion, the key to victory, a solid tripod base for the climber to go up, and a winning effort by the St. James Wildcats. We'll be back shortly with the Class C hose competition, where 4 men and a driver compete against the tremendous force of water and the clock, plus the exciting bucket brigade. Thank you, Keith. Back here in Syracuse, New York, we're getting ready for the longest distance event in the fireman's competition. This is the Class C motor hose, where 4 men are on the back of the truck. The truck races down to a hydrant where 2 men drop off, connect the hose to the hydrant, and the truck speeds up, takes 2 more men to the nozzle line. They, in turn, when the water comes gushing out, fire it at a target 25 feet away. This is a tough, grueling event, and takes a tremendous amount of timing to win it. This is Plainview Plainsmen from Plainview, Long Island. And their rig is a Model A frame with a 64 Dodge Hemi engine. The record, incidentally, is 1440, set by Islip in 1963. And now the nozzle goes on, the water comes out, and there's the target. And it is 16.82. That's a little bit above the record, but a good effort by the Plainview Plainsmen. You'll notice now that each team brings its own adapters and connectors to the hydrant, and also their own hoses. And they take great pride in having this equipment just in perfect shape. The North Belmore Rinky Dinks, who placed second in the Class C ladder competition, you'll recall just a little bit earlier. And as Dick Castle, the driver, the plumber with 7 children, gets ready to go, so do his teammates. This team only uses 3 men on the back. 1 man is the hydrant man. That's Bob Shelley, a milkman. 2 men up by the nozzle, and there it goes. There's a good time. 14.73, just a little bit off the record. And good enough to take first place so far in this competition. The boys from the Schlagers Islip Terrace team taking part in the old team spirit, getting ready to go here. The time to beat, 14:73. And the driver, Bob Juelfi, has the rig going. And he burns rubber as he goes off. This is also 4 men on the back. You can use up to 9. Some teams use 3 on the back, some 4, some 5. Have to hurry. Having a little trouble, and the nozzle goes. Well, there's an official who took a little premature shower. The nozzle went awry and blasted the official right on the nozzle line. Well, things will get a little bit wetter here this afternoon because the bucket brigade event is saved till last. That's when things really get soaked. Well, I'm sure you've all heard the old baseball poem, Casey at the Bat. Today we have Casey at the wheel. This is Don Casey, who's the driver of the Mohawk rig. And Don, you have a most unusual machine here, especially when you take a look underneath that hood. Would you mind, as the English say, lifting the bonnet? Let's take a look at this. What you're going to see is twin 4-barreled carburetor 427 Chevy engine. Now let's talk about the car itself, or the truck as you call it. Did you build it?
Well, our team did.
I mean, everybody took part?
Right, everybody on the team took place in it, right.
How long did it take to put something like this together?
Well, we did it in 1 winter.
Here's another look at this truck from the rear. This kind of looks like a spoiler, but actually it has something to do with speed, but not like you think. You'll notice how this works. Don, tell us about it.
Well, as the men are going down through, they're naturally standing on this. And just as you're coming into the hydrant, why, we energize this pedal by pushing on the button on the gear shift lever. And as soon as they get off, it dumps the carburetors and gets the car out of the hole.
In other words, it dumps the carburetors by pouring a lot of fuel through it and gives you tremendous acceleration all of a sudden.
So that the men will not run in the back of the car.
Well, it's a great safety feature, and now that you've explained to us how your rig works, let's see it in competition, okay?
So the Mohawk Renegades will be getting in line right behind the Lindenhurst Snails, who are at the start line right now in this most startling automobile, a 67 reverse Corvette with the 67 Dodge Hemi fuel-injected engine. And this looks like it's going about 80 miles an hour backwards. Quite a unique design, and it gets the job done. Off they go. Right on the hydrant. And the nozzle's in place, and although the nozzle man marked with water, he records a time of 14:83. Very good time indeed. The Lindenhurst Snails. Now on the line, the Mohawk Renegades with Don Casey at the wheel in that rig that we saw just moments ago. The time to beat, 14:73. Look at this one go. It really smokes the tires. And they're on the hydrant. The nozzle's on. And he's got it at 14:89. And that looks right now to be good enough for fourth place in the competition. Right now, the Islip Wolves, who set the record in this event in 1963 of 14.40 seconds, ready to try to better the time of 14:73 set by North Belmore. You can see this is the car of an older vintage, but it really moves. Good connection. Wow, look at that. Tremendous time posted by the Islip Wolves, 13:92. And that is a new record in this event and puts the Wolves in first place. Boy, you saw absolutely perfect teamwork there. And now there's only two teams left to go that can overtake the Wolves. The Central Islip Hobos are up next. They were the state champs, you can see on the side of their rig in 63. 13:92 is the time to beat. They're in. Now they have to beat the force of the water, and they do just get that nozzle on before that water comes exploding out. So the time is 14:91, almost a full second slower than the Islip Wolves. Incidentally, don't forget the Texas Open Golf Tournament tomorrow from the Pecan Valley Country Club in San Antonio. Now the Copenhagen Cubs from upstate New York. Wide World of Sports is going to be in Copenhagen, Denmark this summer for the World Water Ski Championship, so be sure to check on that one. Right now, let's see what the Copenhagen Cubs can do. They have to beat a 13:92. That'll be tough. Oops, a little slow. But they hit the target in 15:67. And that looks like it is good for about 7th place unofficially. And now here it is, the official results. The Islip Wolves setting a new record of 13:92. North Belmore's Rinky Dinks get another leg on the overall championship. They are in 2nd place, and the Lindenhurst Snails 3rd. Well, it's official now. The Islip team has won in a record time of 13:92, and as you can see, they're a very happy bunch of guys. Dick, congratulations to you. This is Dick Eggleston, the driver.
Thank you.
I know it was a great team effort.
Right, it was. There's a lot of work put in by the boys. A lot of hours.
How many times a week do you practice?
2 to 3. 2 to 3 nights, right.
All during the year?
Right. No, just during the summer months. Right.
What do you do personally? I mean, for a living?
I work for the New York Telephone. Right.
Well, I think what we ought to do is take a look at what's under the hood here, if the fellows wouldn't mind lifting it so we can see it.
Right, fine. You want to pick it up, Mike? Can you lift the hood up, please?
This is a 1941 Ford body on it. What's the chassis?
The chassis it's a 41. Also Ford under it.
Modified
somewhat.
Now, the engine itself is what?
It's a 427 Ford.
Fuel injection.
With a Hummer & Moody fuel injection, correct.
Well, I'll tell you this. You got them down the course, and they did their job, and it resulted in a record-breaking time. It's interesting to note that you had the old record, and you broke that by a half a second. That's really astounding.
Correct, right. Timing, work, it all comes in.
Dick, congratulations. Congratulations, fellas. Okay. And the course is now clear for the final event of the day in the firemen's competition, the old-fashioned bucket brigade. The wettest of all sports. 12 men on a team, and the record to fill a 45-gallon drum in this competition is 24:08, set by Oyster Bay in 64. 4 men up the ladder, 8 men to the trough. And those canvas pails keep going up and down. This is the team from Lindenhurst. These are the Snails. We won't have to do much commentary in this sports event. It's self-explanatory, isn't it? And there it is. It's filled, and the time is 29.14 seconds by the Lindenhurst Snails. That's a pretty good time. About 5 seconds off the record. It's wild, isn't it? And the poor fellow who is down below lifting has one of the toughest jobs of all, because he came the Bayshore Redskins. Time to beat, 29:14. The lifter here is Bill Murray, a cab driver. And the man topside. Getting close. That's it. 24:67. A good time. Sure, Redskins. Hey, that's less than a second off the record. 24:67. The time set by the Bayshore Redskins, and that is good for first place so far. And now the North Belmore Rinky Dinks. They were second in the C ladder, second in the C holes, hoping for a first hit. Too, you'll see some younger boys there at the back, some trough men. Boy, he came to win, didn't he? Listen to this cheering. They're really organized. Here's the announcement. It is 24:05, a new record set by the North Belmore Rinky Dinks. Yes, sir, the World Series, the Rose Bowl Championship, everything wrapped up right here at the firemen's competition in Syracuse. The essence of team competition. Well, there are 3 more teams yet to try to dethrone the Rinky Dinks, who now have established a firm foothold on first place. South Hempstead's Rascals. A view from the top this time. And the dumper is Johnny Skolnick. And the lifter, Bobby Dean. And your arms begin to feel like they're going to drop off right about here as they fill it up. And the time is recorded at 31:60. Not too good, but there's always next year. Okay, next team up, and there's one more after this one. These are the Albertson Slowpokes. Time to beat, 24:05. Well, the lifter here is a fellow by the name of Bill Kozinski. Remember him? He was the truck driver who got a little carried away earlier and is going to try to redeem himself here for speeding through the arch, disqualifying his team in the sea ladder competition. And the dumper is a dog catcher by the name of Joe DeRocha. There's the time, 32:13. Team to go. This team, Central Islips Hobos. And they have a 24:05 to beat. A very spirited team. Here in the running for the overall also. There will be an overall champion crowned. Halfway home. Oh, bucket. 25:54 is the time there. So the winning team, the North Belmore Rinky Dinks, Bayshore Redskins second, and the Central Islip Hobos third. And a new overall champion, the new champions, the North Belmore Rinky Dinks. Well, that's just about the story from Syracuse, New York, here at the Volunteer Firemen's Competition. Earlier this afternoon, we predicted you'd enjoy it. We certainly hope you have. For sheer determination, it's pretty hard to beat the feeling that you get when you look at this competitor's face. Well, before leaving here, our thanks to Al Miller, Al Peterson, and Angelo Catalano for all their help and cooperation in making this so much fun for us here at the Firemen's Competition. The executive producer of ABC's Wide World of Sports is Rune Arlen. Coordinating producer, Jim Spence. Motorcycle and gymnastics coverage produced by Dick Kirchner. Firemen's Competition produced by Doug Wilson. Our director in Houston, Lou Bopacelli. Gymnastics coverage directed by William Bennington. Firemen's Competition directed by Mike Frieden. Associate directors, Joe Assetti, Larry Cam, and Bernie Hoffman. Technical directors, John Irvine, Mort Romanoff, and Roy Silence.